So I'm just going back to Sue here. I think of my father often with negative thoughts. I am grateful for therapy and support groups. I want to focus on inner peace during meditation and enhance my spirituality. Lots of practice to not focus on the negative. Yeah. And so I am with you. I have a very odd relationship with my father. It's so weird. He lives in Australia. I'm originally from Australia. And we really just don't have a relationship. Although I saw him this year, I was back in Australia. I have not seen him since 2005. And we have barely ever communicated during that time. It's so weird. And I have to tell you, my sisters and I have talked about it. Like it's painful. It's painful. And we've accepted he's strange. He's got his own stuff going on. But I'm going to share with you a forgiveness prayer that has really, really helped me to truly, even if you're not at the stage of forgiveness yet, let me say this prayer to you. It's a Buddhist forgiveness prayer. I love this prayer. So it goes, for anyone that I have harmed, either knowingly or unknowingly, through my own confusions, fears, and desires, I ask for your forgiveness. For anyone that has harmed me, either knowingly or unknowingly, through their own confusions, fears, and desires, I forgive them. For anything I am not yet ready to forgive, I forgive myself for that. And for all the little ways I harm myself, negate, doubt, belittle, judge, and criticize, I forgive myself for that too. And so I used to say this prayer, 3 times a day, because I was holding on to a lot of resentment, a lot of it towards myself. I was, as I said earlier, I was quite a rebellious child, and I did some shit. I didn't kill anyone, but I did do some shit, and it really burned me for a long time. So this prayer really covers everything. So for the longest time, with respect to my dad, it was just the 3rd verse. For anything, I would say the whole prayer, but I would think of him, for anything I'm not yet ready to forgive, I forgive myself for that. And in that way, I'm still practicing forgiveness. My heart is open because we don't want to close our hearts off. This is the biggest thing with forgiveness. We're the ones that are suffering. We're the ones that are carrying around that pain. We have to find a way to let it go, to open our hearts again. So by saying this prayer over and over, and it starts out the first verse, right? We are asking for forgiveness for the things that we have done out of our confusions, fear, and desire. Fear and desire creates confusion. That's the ego, right? And it's the first verse that we're asking for forgiveness, so that the second verse we go to anyone that's harmed us for the very same reasons, confusions, fears, and desire. If I have just asked for forgiveness for these same reasons, and for most things, then I can give forgiveness. But then the 3rd verse, again, there are sometimes, or deep trauma, someone has really harmed us. We are just not ready to forgive, but yet we have to find a way into forgiveness somehow. And that 3rd verse is still helping us practice forgiveness. And then the 4th verse, because we know how cruel we are to ourselves. We know how vicious this internal talk is. And the more that we say to ourselves, I forgive myself for that self-talk, right? For all the little ways I harm myself, negate, doubt, belittle, judge, and criticize. I forgive myself for that too. That brings more awareness to it. And in such a beautiful, kind, and open way that it really helps us recognize when we're doing it and to abandon it.